Lethal Larin kickstarts Southampton season. Welcome back to Where the Saints Talk with myself, Luke. And today we have got a full house. We have got Joe, Nick, Elliot and Alex talking all things Southampton. Elliot, we'll start with yourself, please, buddy. It took to the final stages to get the job done, but it is 3 points in the bag.
Yeah, it's nice to make it's nice to make a dent on the point deduction. I would have been nice to do it last week, but can't have it all. We made hard work of it in the first half, but eventually we just outplayed them, and it was nice for Mubama to come on and get a debut goal. And a bit of a surprise penalty taker at the end there with Manning stepping up, but I think at this stage it's more important that we got the 3 points on the board rather than trying to play the perfect game.
Yeah, definitely. As Elliot alludes to, Joe, it's definitely at this start of the season, it's going to be little things to iron out, but getting the points on the board is very important, especially with obviously the minus points that Southampton are on.
Yeah, I mean, it would be good to get to positive points, but we're on -1, so we've chalked 3 off those 4 points. So the only way is up at the moment. I thought the first half, as Elliot said, we were very bitty and a bit all over the place after we scored. But then in the second half, we really solidified and showed what we were about, and showed what we were about like last season, the team that we were last season, to be fair. Superb, really.
Yeah, definitely. Alex, what was your thoughts on the game? I mean, to have both strikers scoring goals is important, isn't it? Because goals are massive in this league.
Yeah, definitely. When you've got a player like Larin, you know, obviously that's a 46-game season. You've got cup games as well. You need to have 2 strikers that can score goals. And last season we had it with Ross Stewart chipping in, and Mubama getting off to us a quick start early is very, very good for him. I was pleased for him because obviously the Stoke fans are giving him a bit of stick. When he came on, they sang, what was it? Divin Mubama, he's always offside. So it was brilliant for him to score past them, and he pointed at an imaginary watch when he scored because of all the time wasting Stoke were doing in that game. I thought Jack Stevens' celebration was funny too, pretending to go down with cramp. That was good. But 9 goals to go, I believe, until he catches up with Ross Stewart's all-time Saints goal tally. So what a start!
Yeah, definitely.
God,
as Alex said, there was a little bit of, I don't know, should we call it time wasting from Stoke, or a little bit of the sort of side of the game where it's a little bit gamesmanship, Nick? Because is that frustrating to see when Saints are trying to play football, trying to get involved in the game, and Stoke are very trying to slow it down, stop, start? It's quite frustrating from a fan's point of view, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a frustrating watch. Although I think the referees are kind of as a point of contention for them to try to get the accurate stoppage at the end. So we'll see if they start cracking down on that more than they have this season. But you know what? I can't get upset a bit at it. Fair play. If we were doing the same thing to Manchester City or Arsenal, I'd be like, part of the game. Get on with it. So yeah, it's part of the game. Get on with it. I mean, if we had actually defended the Galbraith goal, and one of the 7 people who could have cleared that cross actually did, we wouldn't have even been talking about it. So yeah, it's part of the game, part of the dark arts. You gotta live with it on both sides.
Very level-headed, Nick. I like it.
Yeah, it's the first episode of the season. I haven't done the work
strong,
up.
very level.
Yeah.
I like it. I want to talk about Larin, Elliot. I think he's going to be the man, isn't he, this season? He seems to be the go-to guy to get the goals. Is that from a fan's point of view? Is that what you're looking at? You're looking at Larin and thinking, right, can you be your Adam Armstrong of the past, a player of that ilk, just go and score 20+ goals this season?
I hope so, because obviously last season we met Ross Stewart's already been mentioned, but him and Stewart were kind of we were like joint first choice strikers. Tonda seemed to sort of rotate them. It didn't even matter if who was in form or who was scoring. It was just like, you play 60 minutes, you play 60 minutes, or you play Saturday, you play Tuesday. But with Mubama, I don't think it's going to be that way. I think there's a view to make him, the main sort of talisman for the season. I think he's got it in him, because you look at, I mean, he scored twice in the World Cup for Canada, and he scored in every game this season so far. So, I mean, yeah, who's to say that he, can't keep it up? My only concern is I'm not sure about his injury record. I'm not, I mean, no one can be as bad as Ross Stewart, but I'm just not. I just maybe think we could do with one more striker, just in case, because if he goes out or suspended or whatever, I'm not. Even though he came on and scored, I'm not full of confidence that Mubama can step up and kind of cover for Larin if needed.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that, Joe? I mean, Mwamba came on, scored a goal. Do you think he can be the guy to sort of help Larin in times of if fatigue, injury, etc.? And then second to that, do you think Larin is the guy? I mean, you've seen some brilliant strikers over the years at Southampton. Do you think Larin can be one of them?
I think Larin can step up. I agree with Elliot in I'm a bit concerned about his injury record. And from what I've seen of Mubama, like, he looks like a decent player. However, what I'm concerned about is he looked like a decent player at Stoke as well last season. And no disrespect to Stoke, but they haven't got the same caliber of players that we've got. And I feel like if he doesn't perform, then our whole team doesn't perform. And let's be honest, the options that we've got below Larin and Mubama aren't exactly setting the world alight with a Mr. Damien Downs and a Cam Archer. I don't trust either of those two to hit a barn door, let alone score a handful of goals in this league. So, yeah, I would like to think that Larin would be the main man, but I am a bit concerned that if he goes away injured for a while, we're going to be relying on a 21-year-old that scored 7 goals for Stoke last season. I don't know if he's going to be able to make the step up and score the 15 to 20 goals that we would be after him to score to get us shooting up the league.
Yeah, interesting. Cue the Stoke fans getting involved in the comments.
I was nice.
Yeah. You've been worse, mate. You've been worse. So I think they'll be all right. Alex, what about yourself, mate? Are you a big Larin fan? Do you think he's going to be the guy to get you the goals? I know Nick, you're a big fan of him as well. But Alex, do you think Larin's going to be the guy?
Yeah, I think so. He's already paying off that. I think it was only 2.5 million we spent on him this summer. I mean, he's already worth it, really. If you look at some of the strikers we signed in the last few years, I mean, Guido Carrillo comes to mind, 20 million and not a single goal.
God, yeah.
Yeah, Larin's got, well, he's obviously scored 9 or 10 goals last season, and he's scored 3 this season already. So yeah, I really like him. He's well suited to the Championship, and we were all worried when he came in because his goal scoring record wasn't great. But he's an all rounder really. He can run in behind, as we saw yesterday. He can get on the end of a header. I really like him, and I like his attitude as well. He seems keen to impress, and yeah, he's everything you want in a striker. And I think he'll have a good partnership with Mubama, because obviously Mubama's not going to be able to play the whole season as the Saints talisman, but Larin will need help at times as well. And I think they're both similar profiles, so it's a good signing. Both of them are good signings. Yeah.
Sometimes it helps, doesn't it, having the strikers the same type of profile, because you can keep playing the same type of way. Nick, I know you're, as I mentioned before, you're a big fan of Larin. I think it's important, wasn't it? He came last year in the January, if I'm correct to say, and scored a number of goals and really made an impact. And do you believe him then having that spell at the start of the middle of last season is only going to benefit him starting this season? Because he's already had his grounding, hasn't he? He's already found himself in Southampton, found his roots, and he's ready to now take this current season on.
Absolutely. I mean, striker is such a confidence position, right? And also, I thought, Elliot mentioned the World Cup for Canada. It was so perfect for us as Saints fans, the Canada run, because Cyle Larin scored twice, and he got left on the bench in the most important games. So he's scoring, and he has a chip on his shoulder, coming in saying, I'm not deputy to Jonathan David. I should be the main man. Here's 20 goals for Southampton in the Championship to show Jesse Marsh, I'm your guy. And I hope he does hit that. I agree with the rest of the boys. I'm not going to rehash it. I don't think he can play every game. but it just helps so much when you have a striker who's big and can move. And I think a lot of the Saints strikers we've had in the past couple of years have been able to move, Adam Armstrong, Cam Archer, and have been big, Paul Anuachu, but not both. And now we have hopefully 2 strikers who are both, and it just really makes playing the game so much easier. So hopefully they can continue doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Right, we've got two games coming up this week. It's we've got the League Cup and the game in the league. So we'll start with the League Cup, and Joe and Elliot, you two can decide. You can predict that game, and then Nick and Alex, you can do the following game, the Millwall one. So Elliot, West Ham at home. I mean, from the outside, what do you think of West Ham at the moment? I mean, welcome to the Championship for them, isn't it? What are you thinking is going to happen?
Wow.
I know it's the League Cup, so it is obviously a little bit different as well. Do you expect Southampton to play a strong side, or are you expecting some changes?
It's interesting. I was listening to the Going Home with Adam and Joe podcast, and they were sort of saying, well, because Nuno has lost, he lost in the League Cup, didn't he? I think West Ham lost in the League Cup, and now they've just lost at home to Nathan Jones's Charlton. He's under a lot more pressure than Tonda. I forgot his name then. He's under a lot more pressure than Tonda would be, because if we had lost or drawn against Stoke, you'd think Tonda must have been thinking he'd have to go out full strength against West Ham. Whereas now, I think there's a bit more, a slightly more relaxed feeling going into it, because we can rest a few players, maybe start people like Cam Bragg, maybe Mads Rorsleff could get a game, give Bree a rest, maybe.
Damien Downs?
Dobbin could start. Yeah. Maybe not that far. But so I think Nuno's under a lot more pressure. That, by all accounts, the West Ham fans are absolutely seething. So I think we're going to rest. I think West Ham are going to go at full strength, which means we're going to see our old mate Walker Peters. But I watched the full highlights against Charlton, and West Ham just looked awful. So I don't think we've got anything to fear. I really don't. And I think with the negativity around the club at the moment, hopefully we could play into that. And it's also really interesting. We're playing West Ham on Tuesday, Millwall on Saturday. It's interesting couple of fixtures to have in a row.
Definitely. What's your score? What are you going to go for, mate?
No, I don't know. Let's say 2-2 when it goes to penalties, and we win on penalties, because Castellanos missed a penalty, didn't he, against Charlton? So yeah, let the misery continue for them.
He did, and also not to confuse. It was Burnley you were thinking about in the league. Obviously, they beat Portsmouth in the League Cup. That's why.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Yeah.
And then
But that draw. I think that draw felt like a loss, because they were 2-0 up for most of the game, and then they conceded 2 in the last 10 minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Joe, what about yourself? What have you thought about West Ham so far this season? It's been not what people expect, and then what's your score predictions for the game?
I've been very underwhelmed with West Ham, actually. I thought they would come down and they would be a bit like Leicester. They would just win loads and loads of games and they would get promoted straight away. I think Nuno is basically like the Portuguese version of Russell Martin. He's extremely stubborn in the way that he wants to play, and there doesn't seem to really be like a plan B or C. He's very much plan A, and if plan A doesn't work, then we do plan A again, but switch out the players, and that's not how you can play in the Championship, as Russell Martin and Southampton found out a few years ago. I would like to think that we would switch it up a bit, but I still feel like we would have enough to beat them. But I'm in agreement with Elliot I don't think we'd win it over 90 minutes, and I think it will go to pens. I'm going to go 3-3 after 90 minutes, and then we win it on pens 3-1 with Larin scoring the decider.
Beautiful. I mean, it's one. The League Cup is very early in the season, isn't it? When you get these League Cup games, so anything can happen. On to the league, Alex. So we've got different Londoners. Got the South Londoners in Millwall. visiting St Mary's. They've had a decent start. They obviously had a great season last year, done better than what I think a lot of fans thought they would. It's going to be a tough game, isn't it, against Millwall?
Yeah, definitely. I think they were one of the best teams Saints played last season when they went to the Den. They were so aggressive, didn't give them a minute's chance to play out from the back. I think it was kind of in that period under Eckert where Saints couldn't really figure out what they wanted to be. Was it a 5 at the back team? Was it 4 at the back? And then it changed and the unbeaten run started. I think we're in a better position now, and I think they're in a similar position. So it could be similar to the game where they came to St Mary's. I believe Saints won that one. I can't exactly remember that, but I think
was a draw, I think.
it will be a very tight game. Yeah, it was close. It'll be a tight game again. I tried to see if Mill will have a midweek game like us, but I'm not sure. That might play a factor into it. Because I'd like to think Tonda just thinks, let's not think about the cups this season. Let's just go for the league because we really do need to go up this season. And obviously the run in the FA Cup was brilliant last season, but I'd rather just get out the Championship this campaign. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Saints win, and that could already bring us level on points with the likes of Burnley and West Ham if they fail to win their games again. So
God, yeah.
it'll be a brilliant catch up in 3 games.
And it gets you out of the minus zone, doesn't it? Nick, what about yourself, mate? Are you going to predict a win just like Alex?
Yeah, it's a tough one with the midweek game. Also, one thing that really scares me about Millwall is they're so direct, they're so physical, and if we lose, if Taylor Harwood-Bellis is not available for whatever reason, whether he goes, whether he stays, I think we may struggle to deal with that. He's our defender who can really mix it up with other team strikers. Millwall is also the nobody likes us, we don't care team that we're aspiring to be this season. So it's going to be a nice battle of those fan bases. I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. We get out of the negative zone, but win is going to be tricky. If we didn't have the midweek game, I'd predict a win, but I think the midweek game throws a wrench into things.
Okay, interesting. Right, one final question, and it's for you, Alex. You were at the game, wasn't you? And you made an interesting comment that at the game you felt like all 4 stands were really positive and supported Tonda, and were really, you said that was the biggest cheer of the day. Do you feel like that's the way that the vibe of the club is going, and they're really getting behind Tonda?
Yeah, it was considerably louder than any other chant, because most chants it's largely ignore them and you get other bits and other fans joining in, but it really felt like the whole stadium was singing "We've got Eckert," and the bit where they go "Who" in the middle was rebounded across every stand. It was really deafening, and it was really nice to see. I think obviously the FA ban could come in, and he ends up not being manager. Maybe this time in a month we'll be sat here and we're talking about what next. But for now, I think it's really good to see that the club are backing him and the fans are backing him, because obviously he's a talented manager and he made a mistake. And yeah, obviously there's time to go and 44 games left of the season. So who knows what can happen. But one thing I noticed was at the full-time whistle, he stayed back. He usually claps the Northern, sometimes does the fist bumps. I was quite looking forward to him being able to do the fist bumps because, first game after all the Spygate stuff happened, but he stayed very far back, clapped the fans from afar, clapped the chapel end and walked down the tunnel, so clearly quite subdued, and I suppose he's waiting for the ban to be cleared up and then he'll be able to fully celebrate.
Yeah.
Can I ask one question?
Go, Joe, go.
Do we think, honestly, that he's going to get a ban, given that if and when it comes in, we're going to be like mid-September? Like,
I don't think they care. I mean, they kicked us out of the FA of the playoff final after everyone's already booked their hotels and bought their tickets. I don't think they're. I mean, if they were half competent, they would have done it before the season started.
But it's the FA.
It's the FA we're talking about, exactly. I don't think it'd stop them.
You've got City's 115 charges that have been 3
Yeah.
years old now, and
We've had 5.
nothing's happened to them.
Yeah, we've had
And
5 prime ministers
Saints have got the
since. Sorry,
Yeah.
Alex. Since the like case got started. I mean, how many years ago? We've had 5 prime ministers since then. So it's,
Don't forget
Yeah.
the Chelsea
thought that
punishment
says
from this
more.
season too.
That says more about the about the country or about the FA.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
from a Southampton point of view, though, I think you got to create that us v them mentality. That's what you can do this season, can't you? You can really grab that energy and use that. Brilliant, boys. Great chat as always. This busy week ahead, and it's been interesting to see what we've got to talk about next week. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe and get involved in the comments below, talking all things Southampton. See you next week.
oh, what's happened there?
Uh-oh.
I think it's still recording.